Hi everyone and welcome to Deetaux, where we talk about life and work. My name is Dee, I'm your host, and today we have with us Cleatus Tauro.
Thank you, Dee. Thank you for having me.
My absolute pleasure. Cleatus is a senior project manager from Bauer Resources, Environmental Remediation and Sustainability. Cleatus, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Pleasure.
All right, we're going to move on to the first question. So you started your career at the age of 23 as a market researcher, and now you're in environmental remediation and sustainability. How would you describe your 21 years of career so far?
Diverse, very interesting. Gained a lot of knowledge in different sectors. Like I told you, starting from market research to handling personal loans to banking to coming into Kuwait and getting into quality control and handling infrastructure projects to go into Africa and doing stuff like civil and electrical and mechanical, and then obviously going into the environmental field with the same company. It's been absolutely amazing, to be honest. The experience has been amazing, but most importantly, it's all the people that I've met who have been absolutely brilliant. And even though we have parted ways professionally, we've still kept in touch personally, and some of them are very good friends of mine all over the world. And everybody has, touched me in a special way. And I think I have touched them in a special way too, so which is why we are in touch. And that's what's been the most interesting aspect of this career, so to speak. It's not about what I did, it's but who I met and what I learned from all of this.
Right.
Yeah. So it's been amazing.
I'm just intrigued by one thing, which is, you switched from, let's say, steel up into personal loans, into, civil engineering and all of this. Is there a reason that you would you say that there's a certain trait in you that made you switch from different industries so drastically?
Not really, because when I was in the banking sector and handling personal loans, and then I decided to move to Kuwait, I did get into a few companies which were to do with financial management. But I also got into this firm which was from California, which was, they were the project management firm for the Department of Defense, the US Department of Defense, and they used to subcontract projects. But what was most interesting was that it ended up getting me back into a line of engineering, which I did, because in the banking sector, you don't have your engineering is, I understand that you don't really, use all that you studied, but again, you've done chemical engineering, but you're disbursing personal loans and you're handling personal loans and recovery and all that. So none of that, none of my engineering came into play when I was doing the personal loans stuff. When I came here and I had the option of, okay, should I get back into the financial sector, or yes, let's go into towards project management, or so this was the right fit, which I thought. And also I liked the people who I met even in the day one, and they were really open, and so we clicked instantly. And I said, okay, let me take this up, and and the rest is history, like they say.
Question number 2, this is a little tricky. What are the theories in work and what are the hypotheses in work? Are they connected or interlinked?
Theories in work and hypotheses in work.
Yes. I actually had to Google the difference between theories and hypotheses before I came on this.
I've done my management, so and I've done stuff like PMP. So you have a lot of theories in work. You have scientific management of work, you have administrative management theories, and you have all these human behavior theories. And then again, you have hypotheses like the work-life balance, which everybody...
I like how you put it in a quote,
which everybody talks about, right? The work-life balance, and also hypotheses about if you have like a competitive kind of an environment in an organization and everybody is motivated to do well, or if you dangle a carrot in front of an employee, which is carrot in the sense like you give him an incentive or a little pat on the back.
Is that just corporate jargon that you threw at me? Is this something that I didn't know about?
No, I don't use corporate jargon, because
but how is carrot relevant to incentives?
Incentives are carrots in a way, because incentives where you really appreciate someone for what they do, and you appreciate them for their service, is very different from just giving them an incentive which is monetary, just for the sake of either because somebody's told you that this will motivate the person,
Yes.
but you don't really appreciate that person for what he is bringing to the table.
Yeah.
So, are they interlinked, the hypotheses and the theories? Yes, to a certain extent.
Well, that's a fantastic way to move on to the third question, which is actually trickier than the last one. Guys, I think season 2 is going to be like hilarious.
Okay, well, I'm waiting for this. What's this on?
Okay, so how would you adapt Darwin's theory to work? Darwin proposed that species can change over time, that new species come from pre-existing species, and that all species share a common ancestor. I think if you think really deeply about it,
How would you adapt?
how would you adapt the Darwin's theory to work? So let's say the team members that are working there, or however it is that you want to intercept this.
I think I would answer this in a different way. I think I have adapted the Darwin's theory to myself, because when I initially first came to Kuwait in 2006, I didn't want to be here. When I was looking out of the plane and I saw red all around, I was like, no, this is not the place for me. And my initial feeling was I'm going to be here for maximum 1 year or 2 years, and I'm going to move back for whatever reason. I mean, whatever was prior to me moving here. But over time I met people, my perception changed. I met a lot of amazing Kuwaitis, a lot of amazing expatriates, learned a lot. I adapted, I survived,
Wow.
and I thrived. So yeah, the Darwin's theory of adaptability, I can say that yes,
It's applied to you personally.
Personally, yes. And today, I think this place had a purpose for me, and I've found my purpose, and I'm really comfortable in where I am and what I do. The friends that I have, my family, the people around me.
Yeah.
I've had more good than bad, so I have absolutely no complaints. So Darwin rules.
That is one of the most amazing answers I've heard so far, honestly.
That was supposed to be the trickiest one, so I'm
That
fine.
was supposed to be
I'm
the
fine for the
one,
rest of the
actually.
questions. All right.
The rest of them are just hilarious.
All right.
The rest of them are just,
Perfect,
they just go like in a decline format.
Perfect.
But thank you so much, for being, I would say, to an extent, so vulnerable about your answer.
You got to be open, otherwise
Yeah.
there's no point.
All right, so the fourth question is, what do you think are the critical aspects for the success of a project, keeping in mind your industry of environmental remediation and sustainability? I think there's a lot we can learn from your answer in this.
Yeah, so currently we are doing one of the biggest environmental remediation projects in Kuwait. We as Bauer Resources, we are tied up with Al-Ghanem International as a joint venture. So we have been allotted one of the zones among the different zones that have been allotted. It's a massive project, massive challenges, of course. And going back to the critical factors for the success of this project, I mean, you can again go back to, right from when you bid for the project and, understanding the scope and the budget and the schedules and trying to get everything, synced and within the established guidelines.
Yeah.
All those are important, but again, I would tell you that people are the most important part.
Yes.
And I've been blessed to meet wonderful people both on our side of Bauer and as well as Al-Ghanem as well, who is a civil contractor.
Yeah.
And I mean, even if you look at the person on the last level of that tree, I'm not talking about the guys at the highest level. I'm talking about the one who's probably just shoveling dirt into the into the pond or pit or whatever you could call it. I think even those are the most important people for you to really benefit and be successful on the project, because if that one guy isn't happy, it's going to trickle down the system.
Yes.
So, and when I say happy, it's not about happiness in his personal life. It's about happiness in coming to work and being a part of a larger goal. So it's not just about meeting your criteria of, I need to finish this project on this certain time and, the client is going to be happy and these people are going to be happy. It's about everybody's personal goals coming into a bigger goal and becoming one, and when they feel that what they're doing, even shoveling dirt, is helping in the success of the project, and they feel that they're as important as probably the guy who is making the toughest decision, that's when you know that you have really done something good.
Correct.
You know, and of course, I mean, the project itself for Kuwait and for the United Nations and all the other things that go with it is really important. But that's a topic for another day. I mean,
Yeah.
I could go on about it, and
Yeah, yeah.
Deetaux would go into
Would
season
just
3.
season 3 we would
Exactly,
reach like the
yeah.
4th, but that's a wonderful way of saying that people is, you know, the driving force behind a project
For sure.
success. You hear this from a lot of people with, I would say, a lot of senior level positions, and they keep specifying on the fact that people are the most important thing, no matter
Definitely.
what type of plan you have, no matter what type
Definitely.
of strategy,
Because
no
you
matter-
got to, you can have all the plans, but if you don't have the people to execute it, what's the point of planning?
Correct,
So,
correct.
yeah.
We're gonna move on to my favorite segment of the show, guys, which is your way. What would you say if you were late for a meeting that you arranged in the first place?
What would I say if I was late for a meeting? Well, I would go in and say, I apologize, guys, that I'm late, but this is not me being late. This is just a time management study that we are doing. And I just want to show you guys how it feels when...
How not to manage your time.
How not to manage. How not to be an idiot. That's exactly what it is. And honestly, going back to that, I've been very bad at time management, because coming from India, we are like, you know, I'll see you in 5 minutes, I'll call you in 5 minutes, I'll be there in 5 minutes. It'll be like the 5 minutes could be half an hour, 45
True,
minutes, 1
true,
hour.
true,
But then coming
Very
in
differently
here,
Germans.
coming in here, working with the Americans and working with the Germans, your
Oh my
5 minutes
God.
better be 4:59.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, I would avoid a situation like that where I've organized something and I'm late for it. But if I ever did be late, I would probably say that.
That you're doing a study, like a social experiment. Of a
Not a social experiment. I would just tell them, like, this is how you should not be doing.
Lead by, what did you say?
Lead by example.
Guys.
Exactly,
Lead by
lead by
example.
example. Yeah,
Lead by
yeah,
example.
yeah,
Fantastic.
yeah.
That's fantastic. So we're going to move on to the last segment of the show, which is pick 5 random questions, answer or pass from this bowl over
I'm
here.
not going to pass any.
Okay. You know, when you're talking about divine messages, this one's for you. This
Okay.
one is for you. If you could instantly master a musical instrument, which one would you choose? To add to this, he's actually a musician, so
The guitar.
the guitar.
Yeah. I mean, I can play, but if I had to master it, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's one hobby you would love to get into?
One hobby I would love to get into.
Cooking.
No. Actually, I have been getting... I'm learning languages. So
Okay.
I would like to be more... how do I put it? I think more regular at it.
Okay, so what language are you learning?
Spanish.
Ooh, a bueno. Sorry. Is that even... Is
Yeah,
that Spanish?
bueno,
Bueno,
yeah.
bueno. There, look at that. Okay.
Buenos dias.
Okay. All right. So, if you could learn any extinct language, which one would it be?
Abracadabra.
What is that?
I have no idea. Divine again?
No, not divine.
divine.
No, not
Oh
divine.
my
Not
God.
divine.
So this
This
is
one's not
scary.
divine. Now we're getting out of our divine connection.
This is scary now, yeah. Let's go.
What's the most intriguing unsolved mystery you've read about?
What is the most intriguing
have an
unsolved
answer to
mystery that I have read about?
Yes, or read or seen, or that you know about, like a mystery that you're like unable to.
What I felt about, I can talk about. I mean, my power of manifestation is something which I have not really come to terms with, but I know it exists and I've experienced it. So,
Right.
rather than reading about it, I'm talking about what I've experienced.
personal
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. It's about literally wanting something and it happening, even though the situation would, logically it wouldn't have
Yeah.
been able to happen.
Yeah.
So the many things that have happened in my life, which I believe to be divine, again, and I cannot put a finger on it. I mean, I don't have an answer for it.
Right.
To be
Yes.
honest, I've let it go. I don't want to have an answer
Yeah,
for it, but I
yeah.
just know it exists. So yes.
If you have described something as indescribable, haven't you already? Now that I thought This was divine, but it's not. If you have described something as indescribable, haven't you already described it?
True. This is eye-opening, actually.
Oh my goodness. Because I thought.
Pass. If you could only eat one dish for every meal for the rest of your life, what would it be? One dish for every meal for the rest of your life. Chicken breast and rice.
Are you serious?
No.
I mean, it could be like fettuccine. It could be
No,
like pasta.
I'm not so
for the
much
rest
into-
of your life, chicken and rice.
Yeah.
That's the
it's fine.
saddest answer I've ever heard.
I'm a sad person. What do I do? What do you want me to say? Chicken majboos every day of my life?
Yes,
I won't. No,
absolutely.
I'll be tired.
Butter chicken and naan, for example.
Every single day of your life? No, you can't eat it. You'll be tired by day 2 or day 3. But chicken breast and rice?
You will be tired?
No, you'll be tired, of
You'll
course.
be
But you
tired
look at it
first
as
time,
you look at it as okay. This is fuel for the gym. So you eat it, and
For
you
the
somehow
rest of your life, like.
you can eat naan and butter chicken for the rest of your
No, I
life.
don't
Exactly.
think I could, but I mean.
Fettuccine. Can you eat it? Can you eat it for the rest of it? No.
Oh
Exactly.
God. Okay.
So yeah.
Wow.
Chicken
So
breast and rice.
Chicken breast. I mean, I thought at least egg
sure.
whites. Egg whites is something I think I could eat like for the rest.
Yeah,
of my life.
but egg whites every single day the same way is too much.
I mean, how is chicken and rice any different? Tastes the same.
I'll marinate it different ways.
No, you can't marinate it. That's the thing. It's the same exact recipe for the rest. It's not that described, but I'm saying the same exact recipe. So if you start with salt
I'm
and
going
pepper,
to stick to chicken
and
breast
rice, guys. Chicken and rice.
That's it, yeah.
All right. Okay. I think that wraps it up. Thank you guys so much for joining us on the show today. And Cleatus, thank you so much for coming on.
It's
here.
a complete pleasure, Dee, and I learned a lot as well.
Of course,
And I
of
hope
course.
it benefits someone somewhere, somehow.
Absolutely. Anyways, guys, if you want any of his socials, it's going to be linked on www.deetox.com. And any closing words from your side before we close and end this?
Closing words from my side is, I think the common theme of the entire show today is finding your purpose in life. Finding your purpose as finding your purpose in your work, in life, with people, spreading love,
Yes.
making people smile, giving a compliment to somebody unknown outside at the gym, saying hello to a random person.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. And feel good, and whatever good you put out, you end up getting it back.
Correct.
And you have a negative mindset, that comes to you as well. So you're better off having a positive good mindset. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's like my closing lines. Yeah, those are my closing lines. Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much and see you again next time.